it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be doing Pray for the Wicked book tag. I think that's the name of it. No, it's not. It's Pray the Wicked book tag. I was tagged by Rachel Marie, which I'll link her channel down below, as well as the original creator. And this is inspired by one of the albums by the bands Panic! And the Disco. And FYI to you guys, I have not listened to that band, but I want to do this tag just because I was tagged in. I don't want to be rude by not doing this tag, even though I've been like not feeling filming lately, and I apologize for that, but I need a break. But other than that, I'm excited to do this book tag because I haven't done it in a while, so let's get started. And I have all the questions written down in a sticky note. Well, it's a notepad sticky note, but the first question is, a silver lining, a book you didn't expect to like but loved, or a not so great book that had a silver lining that kept you hooked. I decided to go with the first part of the question, and I picked The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I know this book has been a lot. I end up enjoying it. I've read it within 3 days, and I've read it over the summer, and I not expect to like it more than I did. This was one of my most anticipated releases of this year, and I'm really happy that I've read this. And I know not a lot of people like it, but I just really end up enjoying it. It's like Hocus Pocus meets Practical Magic, and I just end up really enjoying it. And I hope, like, if people, again, I know some people don't like it, but I really enjoyed it, and I did not expect to like it. The next question is, say amen, Saturday night, either a book that you were thankful was over, or a book that you could spend all Saturday night reading. I could pick any of the books that I've read this year, or I already read in general, but I picked By Your Side by Casey West just because it's a contemporary about this girl gets locked in a library with a boy, and I'm like, I need some romance to spend Saturday night with. And I just picked this one because I know I loved it and I enjoyed it, and I want to read more Casey West books. And I know, like, getting locked in a library with a boy would be awesome, especially when I have a boyfriend and he'll be like, oh, whenever we go to Barnes & Noble or the library when I want a book to read. And I think this would be a good pick for a Saturday night reading. Next question is, hey, look, I made it, a book that you felt accomplished reading. And I picked Winter by Marissa Meyer, and to be honest, I've read this on audiobook, but it took me 2 months to read it. It's nothing wrong with the book or anything, it's just it was so slow for me that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of not finishing it. So, and I didn't want to give up, and I accomplished finishing it. And the funny thing is, this is actually my favorite book in the whole Lunar Chronicles. For whatever reason, I don't usually like the ending of a series, but this has been this became my favorite out of all the Lunar Chronicles. The next question is, high hopes, a book that you had high hopes for but fell flat. And I picked Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I was hoping to end up liking it after reading it, but unfortunately I did not enjoy it at all. I did not enjoy the characters, and everything about the book just went really flat for me. And I liked the only thing that I liked about the book is the world, but I just could not keep it. That's why I unhauled it, and I just didn't like it. And if you guys end up liking it, I'm sorry if I didn't like it, but yeah, I have the right to have my own opinion. Doesn't mean you guys should not read it because I don't like it. But I do like the cover, but it's just not enough for me to keep it when I didn't end up enjoying it. The next question is, Dancing Not a Crime, a book that BookTube makes you feel is a crime for loving or hating. I honestly don't know. I would have an answer to this question just because there's a lot that I feel ashamed of loving or hating, but I know that I love classics, but not a lot of people like classics, so I don't shame on them for not loving classics, because everybody has their own tastes, and sometimes I feel like it's a crime for me to like classics, but I know there are some books that I don't like, and I just don't want to say that this is a crime that I committed, that I didn't like a certain book. But like I said in a previous question, everybody has their own opinions, especially me. You don't have to agree with everything that I say about a certain book. You can like it, and I would be happy for you to like it. It's just not my taste, but I think any classics that I've read, I feel like it's a crime to end up liking. I don't know if it is on BookTube, but I do love reading classics whenever I feel like reading them. The next question is Roaring Twenties, a book that makes you feel nostalgic. And I picked Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. I could have picked any book, but I just decided to pick this one because I just love the cover, and I couldn't put the book down once I started reading it, and I end up loving everything about this book, the characters, the world, the plot, everything. So I just can't wait to read Soul of Stars because I need it right now, and I just love the world so much, and I just need Soul of Stars right now, and I highly recommend people to read it if they're looking for a new sci-fi to read, or just any book that has a good adventure in it. The next question is One of the Drunks, a book you got drunk on left you in a book hangover. And I know what book that almost got me in a book hangover is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. There's nothing, I end up loving it, but I felt so sad about the ending. Like, I know I saw it coming, but I was like, I didn't feel like reading another book after that, and I was like, oh my gosh, why? And I literally almost didn't even read another book after that, and I've read this for Fairy Tale-a-thon with my other co-hosts, and I'll link their channels down below. This was a group book, and I thought of starting this for the Fairy Tale-a-thon, and I could not put this down for one, and two, after reading it, I almost couldn't read another book after that, just because of not only how good the book is, but it made me so sad that I'm like, I don't want to pick another book because this book made me cry at the end, and I didn't want to cry for another book. So the next question is The Overpass, a book that deals with a difficult subject matter. Sorry for stuttering a bit, but I picked The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It's because it's all about two teenagers dealing with cancer, and it's a really difficult subject to talk about because people are battling cancer all the time, and all of their family can do is to be there to support them as much as possible, and they want to help, but there's no way for them to help. And I have family that passed away from cancer, especially when one family member fought 3 different types of cancers, and that was like really difficult for me to see him struggle. And this book made me realize that even though your loved one is dying, but all you can do is be there for them as long as they're still around, and that's what I love about The Fault in Our Stars, and I've read this in 3 days when I first read it. The next question is King of the Cloud, your go-to book to lift you up when you're down. I could pick any book for this one, and I picked Everland by Wendy Spinelli because I just read the sequel, and I read it really quickly, and I end up enjoying it. And I have not read Auslan yet, but I want to next year, and I definitely love this world so much that I'm like, I want to be in it. Well, it's technically, this world is like a dystopian and a fantasy world, but I just want to be there with the characters and see how much they developed since book 1, and I just want to, this way make me so happy because I'm reading a Peter Pan retelling that I've first read, and this was the very first Peter Pan retelling that I've read, and this just makes me happy to read a book that is like a retelling of another book that I love so much. The next question is old-fashioned, your favorite book published before 2000. And of course, I picked Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling because the first book was published like 4 years before 2000, and I did not read, and in case you guys didn't watch my channel long enough, I did not read the Harry Potter books until I was 12 and I was in the 7th grade, and I felt left out for not reading the Harry Potter books when it first came out, but I've watched the movies before I read the book, so please don't hate me on that. But I ended up reading the book right after I graduated 6th grade, and I ended up loving the books, even though with the 7th book it was really difficult, especially when I know what happens in the last book. But this has been my favorite since I was a kid, and I love the Wizarding World and I want to be part of it, and I love going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Universal Studios in Florida, and I always want to go back because I love Harry Potter and I love the characters, and I just love everything about Harry Potter, and I want to be in the world so much. The last question is Dying in LA, a book that you love that is underhyped. And I picked The Book Jumper by Michelle Glacier. I can't pronounce her name. I'm sorry, it's German. But anyways, I think this book is very underrated because it talks about literature for one, and two, this girl is a book jumper. She literally can jump into any books that she wants and interact with the characters and everything. And that makes me think that I would recommend this to any reader because a lot of readers want to go to a lot of their favorite books, especially when they want to talk to the characters or go in the world. I highly recommend The Book Jumper. So that's all for the Pray the Wicked book tag. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't know who likes Panic at Disco. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already have done it, but and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below some of your favorite Panic at Disco albums. I don't know. I have not listened to that band. Please don't send me hates in the comments. Everybody has their own taste in music. But anyways, if you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook under Last Reader, and I have Twitter and Instagram on LastReader19. I also have Goodreads, which I'll link down below. If you don't want to miss any of my new videos, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!